On 12 June, Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump are going to be meeting at Sentosa to discuss denuclearization.
I think it has been a bit frosty and also on and off because there was that time where Trump called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, and it was only recently that they agreed on the summit with Trump repeatedly cancelling on it.
I would say it was quite tense because even before the summit, Donald Trump cancelled it several times. And he finally settled on it and decided on the summit, so I would say that the relationship is also quite tense.
Kim Jong-un has been talking about having nuclear weapons, and Donald Trump is not very happy with the idea that he's keeping all these nuclear weapons with him. So there have been some conflict regarding what to do with the weapons and what each country should do.
The US wants the North Korea to completely and irreversibly stop using nuclear weapons, and the North Korea wants US to assure their security.
North Korea wants to reach an agreement with the US that the US will extend its power and protect the country, while the US hopes that North Korea will completely denuclearize, which means get rid of all, dispose of all nuclear weapons that they have, and not just that, but to dispose of any manufacturing machines they might have to reverse this process.
They want North Korea to denuclearize completely, so then they won't have any weapons that they can use to attack other countries.
It's dangerous for them to continue to have access to it.
There has been a lot of tension between North Korea and its neighboring countries, and North Korea using this as their trump card to ensure that they stay in power and they stay relevant in Southeast Asia.
The only source of power that they have is primarily from threatening to use their nuclear weapons against other countries.
It means that they have to dismantle all of their plants that they use to manufacture their weapons, and also ensure that they won't reverse this process.
It means that North Korea would lose this bargaining power that they have with other countries. They've lost this power and this ability, and they will have to actually negotiate with other countries to get what they want.
This will allow Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un to come to an agreement, if possible, on this issue. If not, it will go unresolved.
The significance of this is that it's for the first time in a long while that North Korea has actually opened itself up to the world and is willing to speak to other countries and negotiate with other countries on their stand on how they should maintain relations with other countries. The significance is that it's held in Singapore as well. It reflects Singapore's stand as well on how our take of the US and North Korea, the different ruling powers.
So today we talked about the Trump-Kim summit that's coming up, and specifically for this level, for GP, we wanted to talk about denuclearization because the students do learn a lot about the military conflict, negotiation, how conflict is solved. So that's why we wanted to talk about that. And basically I went through with them what will be discussed at the summit, what we think will be discussed at the summit. So that's why it's very important for them to know what is happening and to keep a finger on the pulse of current affairs. So the Trump-Kim summit is particularly significant for Singapore because it's happening here. So that's something that they need to know about. This is something I always tell them. In the long run, I want them to become informed citizens. That's very important to me because I always tell them, eventually you're going to be voters, right? You're going to be working adults, and you have to make decisions politically, you have to make decisions socially. So I think that, yes, I would like them to be able to talk about it in the exams and do well, of course, but beyond that, I would like them to be able to have an informed view of the world and for them to be able to form their own opinions.
I feel that diplomacy is very important, but in a case where diplomacy doesn't work, military action will have to come in to help solve these issues. If not, as I said before, it will go unresolved.
I think in an ideal situation, yes, because that's the most peaceful way to end things. But in such cases where both countries can't really come to an agreement and have a lot of basic miscommunications and misunderstandings, it can be very difficult to communicate. And in that case, military action is necessary last resort.
In an ideal situation, it is best to use diplomacy to resolve conflict because using diplomacy, then we can discuss and there will be no bloodshed and all. But there have been some cases that we do need some military forces to ensure that you have that base level, that you can't just be pushed around, I guess.